Welcome to Football Friday Night, the postseason regional semifinal edition. 14 West Central Ohio teams remain scattered across 5 different divisions.
And that includes a local against local showdown in Division 7. And it's also an NWC rematch, Lima Central Catholic against Columbus Grove in our Spotlight Game of the Week.
Tonight's Football Friday Night Spotlight Game is brought to you by Norada Lanes.
A monster rematch at Spartan Stadium tonight. Columbus Grove, they took the first round between these two, 33-25. That was back on October 17th. Now, after a long 8-minute opening drive for LCC, they have it down to the 9-yard line. 4th and 2, though. The snap is off the mark. And there for the recovery, Columbus Grove's Gavin Baxter, the sophomore, will take it 91 yards. The scoop and score. Bulldogs defense gives them an early 7-0 lead. What a swing. Still in the first quarter, Bulldogs offense now with the ball. Landon Best finds Trevin Baxter, and there he goes. Watch him spin out of the tackles there, straight to the end zone. Grove goes up 14-0. Second quarter we go. LCC down 21-0 before Brady Parker gets the T-Birds on the board here. The quarterback keeper. It's 21-6 as we head into recess. Now after we move to the fourth quarter, Grove would get their final score on the night, and it's courtesy of Trevin Baxter with the pick six, his 3rd touchdown of the night. Columbus Grove reaches the regional finals for the 4th straight year. Final score 28-6. Lima Central Catholic 10-0 against the rest of their schedule, 0-2 against the Bulldogs. On the other side of Region 26, an all Blanchard Valley Conference rematch as well. Pandora Gilboa at Lipsick. The Vikings took this matchup 12-7 back in September. In the first, the Rockets already up a score, but the Vikings answer right back. Mark Kirkendall rolls right, fires one over to Mil Paniagua, who reaches the ball over the goal line for the touchdown. Then, after a Rocket fumble, the Vikings gearing up for another score. The handoff to Aaron Hazelton fights his way through. They lead 22-7. Rockets looking to close the gap now. Corey Girton drops back, lofts one up to Jace Benbert, who reels it in. PG down by 9 at this point. But the Vikings, they keep their distance in the fourth. Kirkendall fakes the pitch, takes it himself, turning his legs just enough to eke over the goal line. That puts the Vikings back up 17 after the 2-point, but the Rockets won't go away. Girton takes the snap, throws one to Xander Boggs, and he slips away from the defender and finds the end zone, but the Vikings prove too much in the end. They are your winners tonight, 36-28. They'll get ready for Columbus Grove next week.
All right, in Region 28, it's Marion Local versus Fort Recovery. This is a Week 7 rematch between these two MAC foes. Flyers took the regular season meeting 41-7. The Indians will look to snap Marion Local's 75-game winning streak. All right, late in the second quarter, Flyers are up by 14. Brandon Hess drops back and connects with Andrew Schmackers. The junior brings it inside the red zone, and Marion Local is set up on the 5-yard line. And on the next play, Braden Mesher takes the snap. The senior will make a 21-point lead for Marion Local heading into the break. All right, in the second half, the Flyers are looking to add on. Brody Barga brings the pressure, and he sacks the QB. The Indians force a 3-and-out. But that doesn't faze Marion Local one bit. Here's a 1-yard score from Cameron Eifer, and the Flyers lead 28-0. Later in the quarter, Hess connects with Oliver Hillsman, and look at the senior go. He's heading down the sidelines. He won't go all the way, but he sets the Flyers up on the 15-yard line, and Marion Local is ready for another score. And here's Eifer finding the end zone for the 4th time in this game. Flyers win 35-0, and they extend their winning streak to 76 straight. Staying in Mercer County and Region 28, St. Henry takes on Cedarville. The Redskins carry an 8-game winning streak into this regional semifinal game. St. Henry has outscored their opponents 263-54 in that span. Opening drive for the Redskins, Charlie Worling takes it himself on the QB keeper. St. Henry goes up 6-0. And the Redskins decide to go for 2. Worling does it again. St. Henry now leads 8-0. Cedarville is trying to get something going, but check out Harrison Schwederman. The sophomore lays out for the INT, and St. Henry takes over. And they will capitalize. Worling finds Will Speck. That's a 28-yard connection. And the Redskins go up 15-0. And let's head to the second quarter. St. Henry continues to shine on defense. Landon Schwartz comes up with a pick right here. Redskins take over on the 24-yard line. And later in the drive, Drew Langenkamp crosses the plane. St. Henry wins 49-12.
All right, it's time for our first break. Coming up, we turn to Divisions 3 and 5, including Wapak at home against Toledo Central Catholic. Full highlights straight ahead on Football Friday Night.
You're watching Football Friday Night. Let's go Rockets! Go!
Welcome back to Football Friday Night. Regional semifinals continue in Division III. We are back in Wapak.
The Redskins took care of Shawnee last week. Their reward, a showdown versus Toledo Central Catholic.
And what a matchup, the first ever meeting between these two on the gridiron. Wapak, of course, a perfect 11-0 on the year. This is a Fighting Irish team with 12 players receiving Division I offers. A team that has been to the state championship game 3 years in a row with 2 wins. First play of the game, Wapak trying to set the tone. Screen to the outside, sniffed out by Braylon Walter for a gain of 0, but Central Catholic would score on the drive. So we go to Wapak's first drive. Caleb Moyer drops back and finds his go-to guy, Caden Page. Got it, 53 yards to the Irish 25. Almost took me out in the process, but the Redskins are unable to get on the scoreboard after a missed field goal. Now, Wapak wasn't doing themselves any favors either. A muffed punt, a muffed kick return that both saw Toledo end up with a turnover and a touchdown. It's now 27-0 Central Catholic. Wapak looking to respond. Moyer rolling to his right, avoids some pressure, fires it downfield. And that's Sherrod Vaughn, the Toledo commit, with the one-handed INT to bring the drive to a close. A decent return for Vaughn as well before Noah Bishop brings him down. But Wapak responds on defense. Ryan Richardson, the diving interception of his own. But again, Wapak couldn't convert for points. So the Redskins unable to get on the board until the fourth quarter when Moyer would cap off a 13-minute, 56-second drive on a running clock with a touchdown. However, Wapak's season would come to a close, a 41-7 final score. Redskins finished the year at 11-1 with a Western Buckeye League championship.
In Division IV, the Bath Wildcats fell on the road to the #1 seeded Shelby Whippets, 49-7. And Bath finishes their season 9-3 overall.
In Division V, we had one of the most anticipated matchups in the state. 12-0 Liberty Benton at 11-0 Liberty Center. And yes, the same Liberty Center that ended the Eagles season just a year ago. Here we go. 2 teams that are giving up less than a touchdown all season long meet at last. Liberty Benton taking on Liberty Center. Tigers with the ball, and we get a little lost here, but eventually we'll find the action with Baxter Bear carrying it for 19 yards to the house.
There he is.
Thanks to the assist from his O-lineman.
Oh.
Liberty Center go up 7-0.
Hey, we saw the stuff that matters.
Then back come the Tigers. This time it's Garrison Cruz going between the tackles for another touchdown. The home team now have the 14-point lead. As it was all Tigers in this one, Thomas Moeller takes the punt back 60 yards all the way to the crib. Looking like Josh Cribbs out there for you Browns fans out there, as Liberty Benton will go on the fall tonight 42-10 to wrap up their season 12-1.
Indian Lake is at home in Week 13. They hosted Cincinnati Marymount. The Lakers have won 7 straight. They're looking to advance to the regional title game for the 2nd year in a row. First quarter, Lakers have the ball. Brady Galladay fires one downfield, and it's Colin Bender making the catch in the end zone. Indian Lake goes up 7-0. We're still in the first quarter. Here's a handoff to Noah Shirk. He's somewhere in the middle of the scrum. We're waiting on the signal.
Where is he, Tony?
We're still waiting. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. Touchdown Lakers. They go up 14-0.
I'll trust him.
And in the second quarter, Galladay is looking for an open man. He decides to take it himself. No one is stopping him. Indian Lake wins 31-14. The Lakers will meet North Union for the regional title next week.
I know Stewart is very happy about that one. All right, it's time for our final break. When we come back, Division VI, including the Paulding Panthers, looking to keep their perfect season alive. That's straight ahead on Football Friday Night. Welcome back to Football Friday Night for the final time. Tonight, we finish things up in the Division VI playoffs.
3 of our local schools, including the Paulding Panthers, they have yet to taste defeat this season.
It's true, Tony. With every win, they continue to rewrite the record books out there. Tonight, hosting a Cary team that beat Patrick Henry this season, but lost to LCC. So let's see. Big crowds tonight. Starting in the second quarter, Cary chews up 10 minutes of the first quarter, running it down the field. The ground game gets the Blue Devils on the board with this 51-yard run right into your living room. Mace Puckett, it's 14-0. On the second passing attempt of the night, Trip Phoenix connects with Boston Ritter. All-name team here. Another 6 points, 20-0 after the botched PAT. The ground and pound now continues as Dash Puckett breaks through the linebackers and waltzes in to make the score 27-0. But not all Blue Devils. Colt Hunt coming up here. The connection to Blake Roanhouse for the first and last Panthers score of the night, but the historic season, it will come to a close. Carey's your winner, 41-6. Paulding finishes at 11-1.
More scores for our MAC teams tonight. Anna on the road took care of Springfield Northeastern 28-8, while Coldwater defeated Tri-Village 48-28-7. A regional final next week against the Anna Rockets. Meanwhile, the Cavs, it's their 5th time in 6 years they have made it to the regional final.
All right, so here's what our regional finals look like as we recap everything in Division 5. Indian Lake will take on North Union. Our lone D6 game, Coldwater and Anna, the first all-MAC matchup. BBC against NWC in D7, Columbus Grove against Lipsick, and MAC against MAC. Once again, a rematch between St. Henry and Marion Local. Remember, this game went the Flyers' way, just 21-14 back on September 5th. We'll have full highlights next week, of course. And that will do it for Football Friday night. Tomorrow we'll be at the Lima Senior Mega Scrimmage. Basketball already here. College hoops and college football, as you would expect. Tony Quach, Dwayne Scott, they'll have you covered. And we will see you next week for regional finals and more Football Friday night.